If you're over 50 and AI or anything else replaced your job, you're not alone. I was too, but instead of giving up, I decided to start this YouTube channel. I'm Anya, 52, and this is my first video ever. Subscribe if you're curious about my journey as a new content creator, about all the struggles, the ups and downs, the doubts, and my take on low-carb living, on the books I'm reading, on life in Spain, and our big move to Greece this year. Let me tell you my story. I've been a freelance translator for the last 25 years, which initially was really great. I loved the job, traveling around Europe, staying in nice hotels, dining in fine restaurants, and earning pretty good money at the same time. I had a few really cool experiences in my job, and I wouldn't like to miss them. About 10 years ago, I started to realize that I'm bored, that it's super repetitive, that I'm saying the words of other people that very often weren't what I would say myself. The older I got, the more I struggled with interpreting. Yet it was still quite a lucrative thing to do. I just kept doing it because it was easy. Languages have always come easy, and that was something very natural for me to do. I never thought that at 52 I'll be looking at starting a new career. I always thought you can do it till you are fit enough to move your fingers and see. Even if I'm 70, I'll be still able to translate, maybe not interpret and run around, work long hours and so on. But still, I thought as long as I want, I'll earn the money. And then slowly, maybe 5 years ago, I started to realize that my clients were using AI to translate simple things like the emails that I would get for translating still 10 years ago. They were Google translated and they got the gist of them, so it wasn't necessary to send it to a translator and pay for it. But I still thought, okay, that's just the easy stuff. What about the contracts, the financial reports and all that? That was still coming. So I thought that will be pretty safe. AI is far away from being as good as to translate that. But I was very wrong. It came quicker than I thought. And I started using actually AI myself to help me with work, to speed it up, which was great, but it wasn't exclusive to me. It was a tool that my clients started to use as well. That went on. I hated the job more and more, tried different things in the last 10 years. I went to a Tony Robbins event hoping for a big epiphany. And at that event, I enrolled in a public speaking academy in London, again, hoping that I could become a motivational speaker. That was a lot of NLP, a lot of skilled sale that got me to sign up for that. But I did it, spent a shitload of money on that. Met my lovely partner I'm still with at that event, but that wasn't guaranteed in the package. So that was a bonus. And as you can imagine, I didn't become a motivational speaker. I really didn't do anything with that knowledge that I got in that year-long training. So yeah, that was a bit money down the drain, but I kept looking. I thought maybe I'd write a book. So I started to write a book. It was going quite well. I gave it to my friends to read, and they were very encouraging. They really loved it. I wrote maybe 50 pages and then started comparing myself to the big writers out there and thinking, this is not your native language. Who are you? Why should anybody want to read what you wrote in a not super sophisticated English? So I stopped, because this is my specialty. I stop sometimes before I start. That's why this video is a big success, because I'm actually recording it. That was the book. Then I started a food channel on Instagram because I love cooking and I'm interested in healthy living and all kind of diets. And I thought maybe I share my recipes with friends. And I really enjoyed the creative process of making the videos, of coming up with the recipes, but I had no idea where I was aiming at with that channel. My partner was asking me, okay, but what is the goal? And I said, I don't know, but I just enjoy the process. So I kept doing it. Dinner was delayed very often because I was busy filming and making the cutting board look nice and tidy, and the chunks of tomatoes look really perfect. It was a very tedious and time-consuming process. And I got 11 likes, of which all were from my friends who were very supportive. But that wasn't something I was hoping for. I really like to see the results, and probably not alone there. That's why YouTube is also a challenge, because I know nobody's watching and the first videos are going to be shit. But anyway, I thought, what do I have to lose? That's just a digression. I ran that channel for about a year, maybe. But in the end, I decided to stop it because I thought, fuck it. No point. What do I want to achieve? So I stopped. It's still there. Some of my friends go now and again and look for a recipe for a tart or something else on a risotto. But that was about it. There was a constant quest for a possible new career, for a way to make money in a different way than by translating. That was whilst translating was still going. And for purpose, because I've been thinking, and I'm still thinking the same, I really don't know what my purpose is. Maybe there is no such a big thing like a purpose, but you read all these books, you listen to all these people out there, and they talk about purpose, and you think it is this big thing you need to find and you need to pursue. But I really am just figuring it out. Maybe this is my purpose. Maybe inspiring other people who are my age or even older to do what I'm doing is my purpose. I don't know. Anyway, what I realized as I was doing the Instagram, I really was happy doing creative stuff, which my partner has been telling me for years that I thrive doing creative things. Translating was absolutely the opposite. And whilst I was happy when I was getting a big job, because I know, okay, I'm going to earn good money, but at the same time, it was like, I really don't want to do it. A weird feeling. That went on till last year. The beginning was not so bad. I was getting now and again a translation job. I stopped interpreting entirely for various reasons, but I thought, okay, maybe it's just a quiet period. Maybe my clients will come back and all that. It didn't happen. Last year was just a disaster, income-wise and work-wise. And I still didn't feel pushed to my limit to do something else, because I was deep down hoping there will be a new job coming. In December last year, I just had to admit to myself that it's over. My career of 25 years is just gone. It disappeared, and it will never come back. So what was I doing? Mainly nothing. Nothing work-wise, but I had a lot of time. So I was reading a lot. I was watching podcasts, videos. I read the book by Mel Robbins, Let Them. I watched several of her podcasts, which I found really good. I found Wallo267. She did an interview with him and it was fantastic, super motivational. He literally screams at you that you should get out there and leave something for humanity. And if he can do it, he's an ex-prisoner, if you're not familiar with him. then anybody can do it. That certainly made me think. Then there was Jay Shetty and Mel's interview with him about finding your purpose. I read his book and kept watching and thinking and discussing it with my partner, Eamon. One day we were walking in the morning on our usual route by the ocean, and he said to me, maybe looking for the purpose is your purpose. Maybe it's just about that. I just stopped and I was, yeah, man, you're right. This is it. Maybe that's what I should be doing. It was definitely a epiphany moment, like the bulb going like in your head. And we started talking about it and how I could do it and what I could do it. And Eamon said, maybe you should help other people to find their purpose. Maybe this is about just getting out there on whatever platform. Maybe YouTube, maybe a podcast. I wasn't sure about the being on camera because this is something I kept saying. There's no bloody way I'm going to get out there, show my face, and talk to people. But then, again, in Mel's book, she says, well, what other people think about you is none of your business, which isn't a revelation, really, but it hit home. Sometimes you just read a sentence, a piece of wisdom over and over again, and you actually know it. But then the 10th time you see it, you go just like, yeah, she's right. So I thought I just give it a go. And I decided actually to use AI to help me to create a new career because I thought it's only fair to pay it back. It took my job, so it should help me to create a new one. That's an interesting subject, actually, which probably will make another video about. But to sum it up, I used it to come up with ideas for a podcast / YouTube channel of a 52-year-old female who lost her job because of AI. It gave me quite a few names for a channel, pretty good ones. But when I saw over 50 under construction, I went like, yes, this is it. This is really what I like. It resonated with me from the very first moment. I thought, okay, I'm going to follow the advice, create an Instagram channel and a TikTok channel because that was apparently required, and a YouTube channel and all that. I do the reels and I advertise the podcast because I decided in the end that going on camera was not an option. So I start with the podcast and then I might move to the video option. But guess what happened? First of all, I must say here that I hate social media. I'm not active on Facebook. I'm not active on any of them. And I just think it's tiring. When AI told me, you need to have a channel here and channel there and post reels, and they have to be really captivating because people on TikTok have a attention span of a 2-year-old with ADHD. I found it really overwhelming. But anyway, I did it. But I didn't follow AI's advice. And it turned out that my way was not the best way. That was a very disappointing experience. And I decided to ditch the whole Instagram, TikTok idea. If somebody is supposed to find me out there, they will find me. If this is supposed to be my path, it will flow. I believe in the flow and in some kind of signs from the universe. I thought, okay, I have nothing to lose. I can just risk it and see what happens. The plan was to record the podcast. I actually did record one episode, did the music, all the fancy thing, editing. Then I went home for Christmas to see my mom. That's a 2 flights all day journey. And I got sick after, I don't know, maybe the flight, maybe something else. I was down with a bad flu. We were both down over Christmas, not able to do anything. Forget about recording another 2 podcasts or doing anything, literally. So it didn't happen. As I was lying in bed I was thinking a lot, what could I do? And I started looking at YouTube again. The algorithm, or the universe, or the angels, I don't know. They put Vicky from My Retired Path in front of me. And another channel, Silver and Solar, of a lady who is 60. Vicky is, I think, 70. I watched a few videos that were very encouraging and thought, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. Or at least I can start. I'm not going to lose any money by recording a video. There's no investment. I have a camera, I have a microphone. I mean, I have my phone. Just do it and see what happens. And this is what I did. The other reason for starting the channel now, of course, apart from all the creators out there that are super encouraging and motivating and telling you, you have to start a YouTube channel. Why is it so important to start a YouTube channel? Why everybody over 50 should have a YouTube channel? You know, all these 1 million videos that are out there. I thought, I don't want to miss the boat again. It's now or never, really. What I mean by that is I missed the boat in 2004 when I started writing a travel blog. I was traveling with my friend in North India. We did a trekking in the Himalayas, which was absolutely amazing. And I thought, instead of sending messages, writing email, that was a time before WhatsApp, before all the communicators. I didn't even have a phone with me on that trip. I decided to use a blog as a means of telling my friends and family about my trip. I was writing in internet cafes. And as you can imagine, in India 22 years ago, the internet connection wasn't very stable. The electricity wasn't very stable. I wrote a few posts, and one of them was really, really long. I spent maybe 2 hours writing it because, again, I wanted it to read well and all that. And then the internet was gone and everything was lost because I didn't save it anywhere. Okay, that wasn't enough to discourage me, but the next time I wrote another really long post, the electricity was gone for hours. And there was a third time. After the third time, I said, you know what? Forget it. Just forget it. You're not going to do that. That's not sustainable. You're just losing time instead of enjoying your trip. What's the point? I gave up, despite the fact that a lot of my friends were encouraging me because they said they liked the style and I write well and all that. Now, when I think how many trips I've been on and where I traveled in the last 22 years, it would have been a really bloody amazing blog. And I really regret it. I regretted it many times in the past, and I still do. That's why Simon told me many times, do you want the YouTube to be like your travel blog? Do you want the story to repeat? I said, no, I don't. I still wasn't doing anything. Anyway, I did it. I hope you enjoyed my story and my first video, and I'll be really happy to see you here again.